Start on the first page. Dig into the string, but don't overuse your fingers like where you're pressing down really hard. And try not to be on the fingerboard. Move back a little. Good, because it seemed you were like very close to the music. I still think you're relying on the music a little too much. Just a little too much. And you're still going towards the fingerboard. I know it's hard to fix the day that you notice it, right? It takes a while. But you need, as I said before, you need to have bow control. If there's no bow control, you could be playing like this, like here, I'm gonna do it the cello way, like do, where's my bow? Where's my hand? What's going on? And then you drop your bow during a performance, or like it goes way up on the fingerboard, like to the where your fingers are, because like I'm exaggerating, but like in general, you need to have bow control where it's staying either in the middle or at the top, or maybe if you're playing piano, towards the fingerboard, but not on the fingerboard. Because if it's on the fingerboard, there's no bow control. Right? There's the fingerboard you're playing. You don't even notice it because you're not looking at it, right? So all you have to do is make sure you have more bow control when playing. And the sound was much better. And to whenever you hear a section that maybe because I heard a couple notes that were a little weak when they could have had more sound than the others. Like if you were playing the staccatos like that doop 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 doop, right? You want all of those you want to explore the dynamics, but you don't want to have like not play like every note sound different, like boom boom or something like that, right? You want it to have like the same dynamics. But what I'm hearing is you have the same dynamics for like it's kind of like a little, like one of those heart rate things. It's like whoa, right? So you want it to kind of stay like, okay, I'll go up a little bit, whoa, go down a little bit, but you don't want to go in like whoa, and then like make a big downfall. So try to think of like while you're playing those staccato notes, like the doop 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 doop. You know what that section is, right? Somewhere on here. You want it all to have dynamics and not to fade out. You want it to kind of stay like, here's the dynamic. I can try to explore it just a little bit, but not where I'm exploring it too much. Or it's going to be like, whoa. You want it to kind of be like, whoa, okay, I'll go up a little bit. I'll go down a little bit. So just explore that. So can you play that section? And really try to explore, but explore like very little. Keep it one dynamic, and maybe you can change it over time. I know maybe that's not what Eugene wants, but of course there needs to be dynamics you set that you can easily kind of explore with just a little bit. Not where you're going to go up and down, like it's going to be like loud and then soft. Right. So can you play that section and really think of, here's the dynamic. I can explore a little bit, but not too much, where I'm like keeping one note the softest while the others are the loudest they can be, right? Because I heard a note just not there when it was, because you faded out too much, where it was like all the other notes were louder than that one note. So just play it and see if you can catch that one note that you played. Yeah, start there, then just go to the end of the page. That was better. The bouncing was really good. There was one note that still wasn't inserted into the music. That's in there. I'm not sure where it was.
Just say S or something, like there's a letter when. Was it the?
Well, you played it this time, but before, when you were playing the do 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 do, you were like do 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 do, like you're still doing the staccato. It's just like do 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 do, and then one of these notes was like, it was like do 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 do, like it wasn't even there. It was like you just left it. It was like this one lonely note that you can't leave because this is a piece. And like the bouncing, it's just like you're trying to keep control of the bow, and you're also trying to play all the notes. So you need to mix those together and say, here's the control of the bow. Let's and
what?
So it's like do 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 do.
It's
like you're out of breath. It's like do 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 do. Hello, where's the breath, right? So when you're playing this, you want it to have all the notes getting played. And you want everything to kind of contrast with each other. You don't want it all coming clashing together. You want slowly and carefully to add in different things. So make sure you work with like this section and make sure you're not leaving out any notes. You don't want there to be an extra breath where it's like, I ran out of breath, like you're running. So can you start at the beginning and go to the end there? And then we'll move on. Except you don't move on. We turn the page and then you move on. Much better. You definitely got that note in there this time. You didn't have like an extra breath. There still are just a little. Some of the notes are just not getting a breath. It's like do do. Like I'm just still using that as an example. It's like do 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 do. Right? You just completely lose the note. Like the note's not there in the piece, so it sounds like you skipped over a note. So you don't have to play it, but just remember when you're Rest position. Rest position, please. I still don't feel like you're listening. Thank you. Yoni. But just remember when you're practicing the first page. Try to make sure you're putting all those notes in, because if you have this huge breath, like this huge breath out, it's just like it's like, where's the note? You're gonna skip over it, and then you're gonna get lost with, if you're playing with the piano or whatever. If you're playing with the piano's gonna hear that note, and Eugene's probably gonna catch it. So you want it to be where all the notes are there. You might not get all of them like in a day, but just try to think of, like, make sure you put the notes in there. And, like, play those sections slowly so you can add the note in. Mm-hmm. So let's play the second page. That's the second page. Sounds good. Is there supposed to be that wind sounding thing inside? Is that supposed to be there?
What do you mean?
It's like a wind sounding thing, like maybe it's just the model of the violin or whatever. But the section sounded really good, especially when you added vibrato. You still, I know I said this before, bow control doesn't come in a day. It hasn't come in a day for me, so I mean, maybe work on some bow control, like techniques or something with Marsha or Mommy or someone. Because bow control is this important thing for cello and violin. Of course, there's still going to be some notes that are out of tune, but you can work on those separately from when I'm helping. But I thought everything sounded really good. It's just bow control and some out of tune notes.
You know, I really like that idea of bow control. So, you know, I remember Eugene saying that that there was a way to stop the sliding around sideways. What helps with that besides rosin? What can somebody do?
From what I learned from Jane, just actually yesterday, I think, was that you really have to have the arm weight, and as Jane said, it's kind of like a magnet. You're kind of just setting it on the string, and you're keeping control of the bow. Like in my case, yesterday when Jane had mentioned bow control to me, I wasn't doing the magnet, I wasn't doing anything. But today I noticed that I was more, I could control my bow more rather than it like sliding up the string or sliding down the string or not having enough bow or something like that.
Maybe.
And
Wait, never mind.
and you really have to act like you have to tell yourself in your brain, here, we're gonna be on this part, don't go up to this part. Like your brain and your body have to kind of tell each other and communicate to each other what you want to do. So in my case for the cello, I'm doing a magnet where I think, okay, here's the magnet, it's gonna stay there and stuff. So I mean, you might have another way you can talk about with Marcia or Mommy or Eugene or yeah. So you just have to think to yourself, here's the bow control, let's do it. You can even look at the string and maybe, like, I don't know, do something, but you have to have
I was
bow
the
control.
crossway for the room.
Maybe the
or I put
winding
some more.
sound
No.
that you're hearing is.
You want me to-
No,
No? Okay.
I don't know.
Do you hear that kind of? That would be my bow sliding.
I don't know.
Anyways,
Then your bow was probably sliding the whole time around places because I heard that sound. It was like it sounded like the whole time. And then that made the violin, like you could hear the sound from the violin. So, as Mommy said, the sliding is a huge problem too. Because when you're playing and someone's sitting up close like I am, or Mommy is, or Eugene is, like they've heard that multiple times, and I have heard it multiple times now. But I can still hear that sliding of the bow. And the sliding of if you want good sound, you can't just slide the bow everywhere like it's gonna magically make the violin play amazing. You just bowed. Just be aware of the bow control. Figure out a method with Mommy. Figure out a method with Marcia for all you care.
Well, I like the idea of the bow weight. So, Ella, can you play one of the pages and try to pay more attention to the bow weight?
She also has to work on sliding.
Oh, it's Marcia. It's Marcia.
hi.
Hi.
Hi, I wanted to turn my on, but my lesson ran over.
Oh, okay. Well, we were just talking and doing. So here's Marcia.
Okay, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to use on stage time, but could we try?
Sure, on the phone.
Yes, because I'm at the church and we're
Okay,
at
go
the
throw this away. Sammy, do you want the? Oh,
By the time I come home, you
go
guys
ask Sammy if I should chuck the gingerbread house. I
What?
guess they think I'll eat some more.
What?